Hey guys, it's me Crystal from Marching North, and today I'm going to show you how to make this punch needle pillow with a removable envelope style pillowcase. First we need to cut out our fabric. Now since I'm using an 18 by 18 pillow, I'm going to cut my square for the front at 18 by 18 because then once I sew and do the seam allowances and everything, it'll make a nice snug pillowcase. You'll find a list with all the supplies you need for this project down in the description below. For the back of the pillow, we're going to need two pieces that are 18 by 14. So here I just doubled up my fabric and I'm cutting it out one time so I don't have to measure it again. Now that we got the pieces cut out, we need to add some woven interfacing to the back of the square piece. So that's what I'm doing here. I have some fusible woven interfacing and I'm just using the instructions that came on the package and attaching it to the back side of the square piece of fabric. Alright, now that we got our interfacing attached, it's time to cut out and tape together our pattern. Since this is an oversized pattern, it does print out on 4 sheets of paper and you'll have to tape it together before we can trace it. I went and borrowed my husband's light table and that's what I'm using to trace this pattern onto my fabric, but you could totally do this in a window as well or up against a lamp. Use your tape measure just to make sure you have the pattern pretty well centered. Then you can just grab your pen and trace the outline of all of the letters. Alright, now that we got our pattern all traced, it's time to put our fabric in our hoop and start punching. And I have a large embroidery hoop here, but it still wasn't quite big enough to fit the whole pattern, so I did have to move it halfway through. Put the medium needle into your ultra punch, set it to 3, and then you're going to go ahead and thread it with all 6 strands of embroidery floss. To start punching, you're going to do the outlines of the letters first, and I like to make the outlines stitches really close together so that they look nice and neat. Here's how it'll look on the front so far. Once you finish the outlines, you can go in and start filling in the letters and just make your stitches close enough that there's not any gaps on the front. At this point, I've punched about as much as I can, and now I need to move my fabric in my hoop. So to do that, you just take it out and you're just going to carefully position it so that the letters are in the middle and retighten it. I decided the letters would look a lot better with a light outline, so I set my ultra punch to 2, and then I just went around them with a lighter color with 1 row of stitches. Once you finish punching, just use the end of your punch needle to go through and park all the stitches into their proper position, which will make it look a lot neater once you're finished. After I trimmed off all the loose threads, I got my handheld steamer and gave it a quick steam to get all the wrinkles out of the fabric and to help set the loops in place. Alright, the front is done and now it's time to sew it into a pillowcase. Before we sew it all together, we need to hem the inner edges of the 2 back pieces where they're going to overlap in the center. So just fold it down, I think this is about a 1/2 inch, and iron it, and then fold it down again and iron it again. once you have it all pressed, just go ahead and sew the hem with a straight stitch, and I think I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance here. Now lay your front piece on your table with the right side up, and then lay your back pieces down with the right sides down so that they're facing each other, and then line up the edges and pin it all together. And now we're going to sew the sides first, and then we're going to sew across the top and the bottom. Again, you'll just use a straight stitch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now sew the same way across the top and the bottom. Once I finished the main seams, I went back with a wide zigzag stitch and I sewed all the way around just to keep it from unraveling. Here's where my bobbin thread got all jammed up. Does this happen to anybody else, or is it just me? Alright, back to zigzagging. Now it's time for the moment of truth. We have to open it up and see how it looks. So just stick your hand in and pull it right side out. And make sure to take special care to poke the corners through real good so they look nice and neat. So far so good, but let's see how it looks with the insert. The case will be a little snug, but that's okay, that's what you want. Just jam that pillow insert in there. You guys, I am so excited about how this pillow turned out, and I hope that you love it too. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more crafty tutorials and DIYs. Thanks for watching!